It's prime time to ditch the booze and try a dry January. That's what I'm doing. Dry Jan for the win. But you don't have to just stick to lime and soda, because someone that knows a thing or two about alternatives to the sauce is Abs Hussein from Aqua and Food, which has, which is a restaurant in Warwickshire and Coventry. Hey, Abs!
Hey, good morning, Letitia. How are
Good
you?
morning to you. I'm good. How are you? Happy New Year.
Yeah, and you. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you
Fantastic
so
start to the
much.
new year.
Good to hear. Now, you've got a dry bar. Is that popular?
It's getting popular. It seems to be the in thing at the moment. You got
Oh.
Stoptober, January. I don't know what's coming next.
I love that January. I've never heard that before. I'm going to
I thought
use
that's
that.
what it was.
No, generally, I think everyone just calls it dry January, but dry January, I'm there for it.
Oh, okay.
I can't
Okay,
even,
yeah.
yeah, I'm there for it. Are more people choosing to not drink in your experience? What's sort of like the vibe?
So I mean, we've only been a dry bar since sort of the opening after the lockdown
Mm,
in March. And before that, we used to have a really extensive wine list. And being a Lebanese restaurant, the wine, used to be really popular. But there was a huge a portion of the clientele that were, going for our sort of mocktails and non-alcoholics sort of
mm.
menu. But they were more soft drinks. Since we got the dry bar, the dry bar is basically a full bar, with wines, spirits, beers, all non-alcoholic. And we were very skeptical at first, but it really is become popular.
That's awesome. That sounds so good. Now, what are your top picks for people who, well, can drink at home?
Ooh, so if you could be drinking at home, I think the wines are really popular because it's something that you can't pick up on the supermarket shelf.
Mm.
One of the lines we've got is Pierre Zero, which is a French line, and it's made in south of France, and it's literally how a normal wine is produced, and then it's de-alcoholized.
Mm.
It tastes almost the same as your normal wine.
Oh, wow.
Just missed that little bit of a kick.
Wow. Like in my head, because I'm reading up and it says that you don't just do wine, of course you do spirits and beers. Now I know sort of what alcohol free beer tastes like, but alcohol free spirits. Like I need to ask about this
I
because in my
was
head I can't imagine. Is that like explain to that to me? Like I can't get my head around that alcohol free spirit. What is going on there?
Yeah, so I was as surprised as you when I found some of these companies. So one of the most popular one is Lyris Spirits Company, which is an
Mm,
American company,
mm,
and they do a huge range of malt, whiskies, rums,
wow.
um, and yeah, and the taste is amazing. And I'm a non-drinker. I'm Muslim by faith,
Mm.
so I don't really drink alcohol. But I'm getting hooked on these things, and so and some of my friends they drink, and there's one especially which I really like. It's like a malt whiskey. It's like a Jack Daniels,
Oh.
and it's I gave it to my friend and didn't tell him it was a non-alcoholic, and he couldn't tell the difference, and he was
Really?
surprised, and he had to have three more glasses just to believe it's not alcoholic.
Wow. Do you know what? I've got to ask. I know a lot of people would never even think to ask this question, but I've got to know. Do you ever get anybody that comes in that doesn't sort of know? Say they've come with their friend, they don't know it's a dry bar, and they're there drinking, and they start to just get a little bit tipsy, but really they're not actually tipsy because they've not drank any alcohol. Has that ever happened in there?
But like the placebo effect.
Yeah.
No. Sometimes they're like, but probably a bit jolly. And they're like, "Are you sure?" Because the taste is so close to the real thing.
Yeah.
They're like, "Are you sure it's not?" They go, "I'm feeling." They do say it, but I don't know if they really are feeling tipsy. But
Mm.
they do. They do really find it hard to believe that it's non-alcoholic. And if you go to some restaurants that don't serve alcohol, you just get your normal orange juice and Coke. But
Yeah.
with us, we want to do something different, and you get full range of cocktails, and then obviously the wines, and it's not just one or two. We've got about, I think, 8 or 9 different ranges, from sweet, dry, Spanish wines.
Wow.
The things that are available in the market now, they're so vast compared to what they were before.
Yeah, sounds it. That's insane. Do you know, I'm gonna have to bring one of my friends and punk them, like not say that it's a dry bar and just watch them. Like an
Yeah,
experiment.
that would be
Like,
that would be really interesting if one person knows and the other doesn't.
yeah, just watch. And they'll be like, why are you not getting drunk? I'm like, ah, psych.
Yeah.
Now, how has the
Yeah.
move to tier four affected you, Abs?
Personally or the business?
With the business, we'll start with the business.
Yeah. So tier four with the business, obviously being tier three, we were just doing takeaways only. So we haven't really been affected at all in that sense.
Yeah.
It's just we carry on doing takeaways. But obviously with the restrictions and not having the restaurant open,
Mm,
there is a huge sort of financial burden that we're sort of taking on. But the main thing is like the staff that are out of jobs at the moment, and
yeah.
some of them are like drifting away, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just try and keeping it all pulling everything together and keeping it together. But with the takeaways and everything, I think people are still enjoying our food. We have actually the non-alcoholic wines on our menu list to take away,
Oh, nice.
so people are able to enjoy that. If they're on Deliveroo or Uber Eats or Just Eat or whatever, they can actually order, and there are a few people that order it, and still able to enjoy their meal at home. But of course, it's not the same as serving your customers at your table, is it?
No, I know what you mean. Like when you have food where you eat out, the whole I've like for me personally, like the whole experience is of course the food, you go places for food, but you go for the experience of the service. Do you know what I mean? Like if
Uh,
you went to a restaurant and the food was good, like you're going to talk about that anyway. Do you know what I mean? You're going to say to somebody, "Oh, you have really good food." But the one thing that you mainly will talk about that you will encourage you to go back to a place or tell your friends about it is how the people that work there were with you, what the kind of service that you're given. So it's for me, eating out the whole experience is so different now, so different now. So I completely see where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, 100%. Totally agree with you. It's of course it's the food that you go there and what you pay for, but it's the experience. The laughter, the banter, and everything
Exactly.
that you have. You walk out with that smile and laughter, and on your mind, and that's what it takes you away from all your stresses of the world and at
Mm,
work, wherever you have. And this is what's missing, and I think people sort of have that anxiety and things, and they like to go out to
yeah.
bars and restaurants to relax, and that's not available to them at the moment, especially in Coventry anyway at the moment.
Definitely, definitely. Oh, well, do you know what? Fingers crossed that over the next coming months we can get things back on track so that we can open again and I can come down with one of my friends and punk them.
Oh, I can't wait for that day. Can't
Oh,
wait
I'll
for
have to
that.
let you know, Abs. I'll have to let you know. But thank you so much for coming on and I wish you all the best through these next few months and into the rest of the year.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you.
Yes, definitely.